Grand Rising, my honey buns. Ashay. This is your girl, Empress Goddess, the Georgia Peach. I hope all is well with the loved ones today. As for me, I'm doing wonderful, my loves. We're going to go ahead and finish up the second half of this book. Sun, Moon, and Signs. The secrets of the 12 zodiac. They could be, for an example, in another situation, or they could be involved with someone else or in another relationship. We did all the sun signs yesterday. So now we're finna start on the moon signs. They still have feelings towards you, they still love you, they still have feelings about you. We're gonna start on the moon signs. As soon as my girl do my sign here, she on Sagittarius now. Then we'll go ahead and jump into this and finish out this book. This person is here right now, Sagittarius. They wish that shit could be done, gone, over with, or didn't even fucking exist right now. Love and forever evolving. Where we are always and forever evolving. Okay, somebody here got some things. Fuck it up. Feeling here, Archers. We got yep. This is the energy that I was feeling here, Archers. We have we will be together again. Wow. So somebody feels like, look, Sagittarius, we gonna be together again. I don't give a damn what you say, but we gonna be together again. All right, Sagittarius, we coming and we gonna be together again. Oh shit, I heard we see it. I know there might be more than one person here, Sagittarius. Damn, Sagittarius off the chain, baby. They not telling you this again because keyword, this is they getting feelings, okay? And some of y'all, they not telling your ass that they coming and that you two will be together again because in their head, they feeling y'all two gonna be together rent free, living rent free. In your head, you ain't even thinking about either this person or being back with this person, but shit, in their head, y'all gonna be together again. Sagittarius, let's see who this person could be. We already had coins jumping out here. All right, we have Libra energy here, Sagittarius. Some of y'all, this is a Libra that's looking everywhere for you. Wow, we have Aries energy here, Sagittarius, that is saying we will be together. Damn, Sagittarius. Okay, some of y'all, this may be an Aries here, Sagittarius, that is looking for you or definitely wish that things were different here. Okay, let's get one more part here, Archers. Wow, very interesting there, Archers. Definitely if that resonated for you so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, my loves, and hit that notification bell. We have Scorpio energy coming out here as well. We have several cards here. Hold on. We have a Pisces here, Sagittarius. Wait. Be a Pisces here or Scorpio. Again, Libra or Aries. We also have Taurus energy here, Sagittarius. Some of y'all, this person here could be a Taurus here. And lastly, again, we have Libra. Okay, Libra is very significant. Now Libra and everybody there reading. So wow, Archers, that is how your person feels. Okay, they will know in their mind that you two will definitely be together again because they wish that things could be different. Okay. So, wow, Archers, I definitely hope again that resonated for you. And if so, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, loves. I love you, Saggies. I love you, Archers. Mwah. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. What's good? Shout out to the Soul Tribe members, gang. I appreciate you, Evolving Spirits, for always coming in and showing love. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content in the community that we have together privately. I love you guys. All right, let's move forward here. Next we have is my sexy ass Aquarius. No, Capricorn, boo. No. We have Cappies. That's right. Cappies, how dare you, Aquarius, trying to cut line. Next we have is Cappies. What's good, Capricorns? What we got for the unicorns? What do we got for the unicorn? Show me that person's hidden feelings towards Capricorns here, please. Show me Capricorn's hidden person's feelings here. How does this person feel? Show me this person's energy here. What do we have for the goats? Yes, shout out to the goats that we have for the Cappies. Show me that person's hidden feelings here. How does this person feel about Capricorn here? What have they not told Capricorn?
The gorgeous ghosts we are.
Oh my goodness. What do we have for Cappies? Let's see for Cappies. Ooh, we have I couldn't let you get close to me, Capricorns. Wow. So someone here felt so bad, okay? Or they felt so wrong, or they felt so in an energy where they wasn't comfortable or being in your energy here, basically in a nutshell, Capricorn, because they couldn't let you get close to them. They may even felt tempted or temptations, okay, in regards to being around your energy. This could have been someone that was involved with someone else, or they may have someone else, right, that they're in a relationship here with for some of you all. And they feel like if they came around your ass, everything would be wrong. This particular person that they may or already in a relationship here with. So you are temptation here out here in these streets. You're out for somebody. Okay, I'm just saying. And others of you all, this person they have is now realizing what they've done here towards you, that they can't even stand the fact of being around you because of what they've done, and they're not happy with themselves in regards to the choices or the decision that they made in this relationship here. Wow, Cappies. We also have, I know I was a distraction from your pain, okay? So, wow, this is a different energy here, Cappies. Some of you all, this particular person here feels like that when you were recently maybe healing from a previous relationship or situation or something that caused you, you know, a place where you had to go within and do some reflection, right? And this person felt like once they met you, once they came into your life here, once you two got to know each other, and you kind of explained to this person what was going on. So this person may have had you misunderstood.
Y'all come on in here so when she finished with this Cappy readers, I can go ahead and start.
This person's energy here, or you two go your separate ways. It's like this person here felt like now that they were only around just to keep you distracted from what you were feeling previously before you met this particular person, okay? So that is significant for someone there, all right? Let's see what else comes out here for you, Caps. Wow. We have sometimes I stay awake thinking about you, Capricorn. So in other news, there is someone here who definitely does a lot of thinking about my Capricorns here, okay? They do a lot of thinking about my unicorns here, and it's to the point where their fucking sleeping pattern is here, okay?
Damn.
This person is sleepy during the day.
Well, damn.
Because they think about you, Capricorn, so much at night that they
Well,
have to
damn.
stay up late, okay? They're
Well,
fucking
damn.
around, tossing and turning, and not getting sleep and falling over at work. Not focused.
Fuck it up.
Shit, y'all can't operate right. They can't do what they need to do because they sleeping pattern is out over your ass.
Damn.
I love it. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. All right, so let's see. Let's see what particular zodiac sign here that you could be dealing here with. What zodiac sign here and their hidden feelings here we have for Cappy. Hi, super classic. We have Leo here coming out.
Yeah, goddamn Leo.
All right, some of y'all, this person here may be a Leo here. All right, we also have Aries here, Capricorn. Some of y'all, this person
all
may be
fire.
Aries here. All right, wow, we have Pisces energy here in Capricorn. Some of y'all, this person could be a Pisces that's thinking about you. All right, and lastly, we have
Taurus.
Okay, some of y'all, this person here could be a Taurus, Capricorn. Wow. All right, so that is in regards to your person, Capricorns, and their hidden feelings here towards you, okay? They, again, sometimes stay awake thinking about you, okay? Wow, and I'm sure they haven't told you that, okay? To make you believe.
Living all rent free in their head.
Yeah.
Well, don't look like nobody come in, so we better go ahead and do the damn thing. All right, my loves.
Moon signs, the ultimate guide to understanding your sign, different sun-moon astrology combinations, and compatibility. Written by Mari Silva. Narrated by Ivan Bazinius. Introduction. Have you ever read your sign's horoscope and thought, well, that description did not sound like you? And perhaps the information was completely irrelevant to where you were in life. Did you know that you must look beyond the sun sign?
That's right.
If you would like to have a bigger picture, you must focus on your moon sign. Or maybe someone asked you what your
Rising
zodiac
sign,
sign
too.
was, and you immediately replied with yours. To your surprise, your friend didn't believe you were a Sagittarius. To her, you were a Pisces or a Libra. Usually, someone is referring to your sun sign when a person asks you, "What sign are you?" And while this is perfectly acceptable to ask, because the sun sign does offer others a glimpse of your personality and what traits you show to the world, there is more that an individual can ask to get a clearer picture of who you really are. Your friend's words probably resonated with you, and you decided it was time to get your research gloves on. You soon realize something called a moon sign, and the more you investigate it, the more you feel like you are not a Sagittarius. You probably didn't feel like the horoscope was talking to you in the first place, because even though your birth date says you are a Sagittarius, or that your sun sign is in Sagittarius, you felt more like a Pisces person. You're very emotional, and you have a deep connection with going under the water and discovering your true inner world. This happens because you have a Pisces moon. For the horoscope to depict an accurate image of you, you must know your moon sign, which is not always referenced. However, you may wonder why the moon sign is important. Well, did you know that the moon has different phases, and that all of them will undoubtedly alter your perception by making you more in tune with nature? Were you aware that the moon's phases even make the ocean's tides increase or decrease?
That's right.
The important thing to notice is that both the sun and the moon signs need one another to maintain a healthy lifestyle. You cannot have one without the other. They work together to form your whole self. Even though at first glimpse, the moon seems like it is constantly transforming itself and moving from one side to another, whereas the sun is simply there, just being the sun, this is not entirely true. It is not like the moon constantly changes throughout the month. It's more of a case of perception. Your perception of the moon changes continuously during the month. Hence, sometimes you see a big full moon, and other times you don't see it at all, or maybe you only see half of it. It's not that the moon is not there, it's more to do with the darkened areas that are not illuminated for you to see them. There are 8 moon phases. A new moon.
Y'all, I just purchased another book here. This book, the one that I'm playing now, didn't have anything about the rising signs. The one I just got has the rising signs in it, and that's what you need to know
This is Audible.
about the rising too.
Sun, Moon, and Rising Signs. A complete beginner's guide to the divine trio of astrology. Written by Linda R. Moon and narrated by Shelby Rankin. Introduction. If you're fascinated with astrology and wish to learn more about yourself for growth, self-development, and personal healing, you've come to the right place. Many people assume astrology is solely equated with our sun signs.
That's right.
However, this isn't true. There are a number of astral forces and celestial entities shaping our characters, personalities, motivations, and desires in life, and the way we interact with one another and the world. In truth, all of the planets have an important influence on our psyche,
Good morning,
emotions,
love.
psychological patterns, and physical and spiritual needs.
I just downloaded this book here this morning. I had a free credit this morning to buy something. So the book that I started yesterday on the sun and the moon signs, it didn't have anything about the rising signs in it. So I just purchased this book with the sun, moon, and rising signs, because you need to know all 3 of your signs. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this one.
But 3 should be brought into the spotlight first and foremost. I like to call these the divine trio.
We call them the big 3.
The sun sign, the rising sign, and the moon sign. The sun sign. Your sun sign is often called a star sign, and this is because it is the primary star that influences our personalities. The sun is in the center of our solar system, after all, So it's no wonder we've come to view this as the primary celestial force. Your sun sign represents your core personality. It's your needs, wants, desires, strengths, talents, and weaknesses that affect you on a day-to-day basis. Personal identity, passions, your will, and abilities that are all unique to you come under the sun sign's realm. It's also the ego. Ego doesn't have to be seen as negative. There is a big difference between egocentricity or being egotistical and having a healthy ego. The ego is linked to the conscious mind and the psyche.
Y'all,
So questions like, what makes you tick? What are your likes and dislikes, strengths and weaknesses, and positive points
You be up early cooking
and
too,
follies? What is the
It's-
core
it's-
truth of your personality?
It's only 1:45 here.
And what does your soul yearn for as a primary driving
I gotta find
force?
something to cook in there. I don't know what.
All come into question with your sun sign.
I don't been walking this
Ultimately,
morning
the
at
sun
all.
sign represents the most authentic and face value part of you, the part that stands in the spotlight and is seen by the world outside primarily. Nothing about the sun sign is hidden, unlike the moon sign, and it's direct, visible, and aligned with the conscious mind. As the sun is a yang force, which means it's active, masculine, dominant, and positive. Your sun sign placement in your natal chart will determine how best you embody and display the qualities of the sun. The moon sign. Your moon sign symbolizes the subconscious and even unconscious forces that influence you. Your moon or lunar placement is all about the hidden drives, desires, and behind-the-scenes aspects that shape your personality. It is your core, in essence. Whilst your sun sign is the part most visible to you, the part everyone sees and interacts with on a daily basis, your moon sign is less visible. It is reserved for the people that know you the best, your closest friend, family, lovers, and intimate partners, platonic or otherwise. Publicly, your moon sign represents your emotional style and needs, and the way you communicate and interact with others emotionally, and what you need from social ties. The moon's energies are yin in nature. Yin energy is passive, receptive, magnetic, dark, and feminine. Also, negative. Although this shouldn't be mistaken for anything other than depth. For example, while the sun is positive and light connected to an upbeat and joyful energy, the moon is negative and dark, aligned to a more reflective and deeper energy. Family and the home also come under the moon sign. This signifies that your needs and wants regarding family, children, and a stable home life are determined by the moon placement in your natal chart. The moon provides a nurturing, caring, and motherly energy. It is a feminine planet after all. Thus, a strong moon placement will mean that you embody a lot of caring, compassion, and emotional support and empathy, and that you desire a stable home with security. Furthermore, romance and intimacy are strongly influenced by the moon sign. How you approach love, platonic and romantic intimacy, and sex all depends on what sign the moon falls in. Some people may crave more emotional melding, whilst others prefer a connection more upbeat and light. Subconscious yearnings come under the lunar placement, which includes instincts, gut feelings, and reactions, your primal and vulnerable self. Rising/ascendant sign. Your rising sign, also known as the ascendant in astrology, is your outward appearance and persona. This is the you that people see that differs slightly from your main personality, your sun sign. The rising sign is the public or social image. It depicts body size, figure, weight, characteristics, and appearance, and also the way you come across to others. The best way to understand the rising sign is to take the following example. A Pisces woman may be very dreamy, emotional, sensitive, and impressionable, yet, despite her adaptable, selfless, and empathic nature, key Pisces traits, she comes across as strong-willed, self-authoritative, and even stubborn. She's also infused with dependability and practical energy. This is symbolic of a Pisces woman with Taurus rising. Another example, an Aries man who is self-initiating, strong-willed, and pioneering, key Aries traits, is also deeply compassionate with psychic tendencies, making him an excellent listener and giver of wise counsel. This is because he has his rising in Cancer. The rising or ascendant sign is always an extra dimension. It's another layer people see and pick up on, how you present yourself to the world, and the subtle intentions and motivations that lead to self-presentation equally symbolizes the rising sign. The diagram below shows the sun, moon, and rising dynamic. Sun sign, personality and self-identity, your true and primary character and self, the conscious you. Moon sign, internal processes, emotional, subconscious, primal and instinctual urges and desires, the inner you. Ascendant/rising sign, public, social persona, how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself to the world, the outer you. Chapter 1, the sun signs. In this chapter, we will explore the top 3 qualities of each star sign and what makes each unique. There is also a glimpse into each sun sign's shadow personality traits, which is useful to know. With shine comes shadow, and with light, there is darkness. If you wish to understand your own and others' star signs, you will need to be aware of the inherent duality within the wisdom of astrology. Aries. Glyph, also known as the astrological symbol, the ram. Ruling planet, Mars. Element and quality, fire, cardinal. Assertive. Aries people are self-assertive, strong-willed, and purposeful. They are excellent leaders and have a strong sense of prioritizing their own needs. Although many call them selfish, and this is certainly part of the Aries shadow, Aries know how to command presence and attention. They're leaders and not followers. They navigate life with determination, and the best way to understand how strong-willed and self-initiating they are is to be aware of their ruling planet, Mars. Mars is a masculine planet with willpower, action, force, and dominance. Mars best represents masculine yang energies, just like Aries. While others may be passive and even submissive or selfless, Aries is self-serving, which can be positive or negative. Independent. Pioneering and independent. Aries is a force unto their own. They like to set their own path and follow their own journey throughout life. They can play as part of a team, but their preference is creating, again, not following. Fierce independence is linked to fierce protectiveness. They are extremely protective of loved ones and are known to stick up for the underdog. An Aries independence is what is admired and seen as attractive by compatible signs like other Aries, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. Being so independent also makes them less likely to give into negative traits of codependency, clinginess, mollycoddling, or over-smothering. In saying this, they can be jealous and possessive, but this is due to their innate loyalty and need for companionship, which is often masked by such a headstrong persona. Courageous. Brave, fearless, courageous, and supremely confident are other words to describe the Aries personality. These individuals are bold and fiery. They have immense levels of self-esteem and self-worth, which can, more often than not, come across as arrogant, pig-headed, and aggressive. Impulsiveness, impatience, and egotistical behaviors are other side effects of such a vibrant and zestful character. It's true that Aries is both the warrior of the zodiac and the person everyone looks to for positivity and energy. And Aries' excitement for life knows no bounds. However, this also makes them insensitive, somewhat shallow and superficial, and lacking depth. Courage and devotion of heart and spirit should be worked on to connect to the more positive aspects within. Taurus, glyph, also known as the astrological symbol, the bull. Ruling planet, Venus. Element and quality, earth. Fixed.
Yep.
Practical. Practical, responsible, and dependable. Everyone knows that they can rely on Taurus. Taurus is a sign of materialistic abundance and prosperity. Many Tauruses achieve significant success and abundance.
I tell y'all every time I start doing something, but especially start recording, somebody gonna call. First one, my little godchildren. Then right after I hung up with him, my auntie, my uncle wife, they live in New Jersey. She called me. I ain't heard from you in 2 years. It ain't been no 2 years. It might have been about maybe 6 months. But hell, every time I talk to her, she be I'll be the one called. I said, I'm recording. Okay, call me back. Knowing her, they might be on their way down here.
In the physical world. This is because they are sincere in their dealings and respect the material and practical aspects of life. Taurus loves luxury, which is largely due to their ruling planet, Venus, the planet of luxury and wealth, and beauty and female sexuality and sensuality. This sign is level-headed, determined, willful, and self-sovereign, with immense levels of confidence, fairness, and team spirit. They can lead and follow, take charge and compromise, and shine independently or as part of a group. However, they need to be mindful of becoming hedonistic, overly pleasure-seeking, and materialistic. Responsible. A strong sense of responsibility allows them to thrive in business and home life. Many Taurians are head of the household for this reason, taking on a supportive and providing role at home and within the family or in the workplace. Duty defines them. They're protective, loyal, loving, affectionate, just, benevolent, and intelligent. Tauruses possess a good balance of intellect and observational skills, mental abilities linked to problem solving and logical thinking, and intuition and imaginative gifts. They're perceptive and wise, and use such a well-developed insightfulness to be of service to others, themselves, and communities at large. Benevolent. They're also extremely benevolent and compassionate. Empathy and sensitivity and nurturing and caring qualities are evolved in a Taurus sun sign. Earth is a feminine quality, and Venus is a feminine planet. So, they possess many beautiful qualities. They're also ruled by the planet of love, beauty, and female sexuality itself. Thus, they are attracted to sentimentality, art, music, spirituality, romance, and sensitive personalities. Taurus love soul and depth and are lovers at heart. They like to feel safe and secure and are equally capable of creating a loving and supportive environment for loved ones. They need to be careful of being stubborn and rigid in mindset and their approach to relationships, though, as this is one of their downfalls. Capricorn. Glyph. Astrological symbol, the goat. Ruling planet,
Saturn.
Saturn. Element and quality,
Earth.
earth. Cardinal, determined. Determined, willful, and level-headed.
That's me,
Capricorn is symbolized by an inner drive for a comfortable and secure life. Security and stability are important to them, and they need intimacy and companionship as well as luxuries to feel content. As their planetary ruler is Saturn, there is a level of maturity and self-responsibility unmatched by others. They are dependable and reliable with love of tradition, order, and routine. They need to be careful of becoming overly rigid and inflexible in mindset and behavior as they can be resistant to change. Positively, their love of order and stability makes them a grounding and powerful force in whatever they set their mind to. Resourceful. Capricorn is the most ambitious and hardworking sign of the zodiac.
That's right.
They have gifts and resourcefulness and can make a name for themselves if they should choose. Climbing the social and professional ladder is symbolic of this practical earth sign. They're practical, methodological, efficient, and strong-willed, and structured, orderly and organized too. They have a healthy sense of self-esteem and self-worth, which reflects into the relationships they keep and their capacity for financial prosperity.
That's right.
They're materialistic, so they need to learn how to detach from the material realm and connect to a more subtle spiritual energy. Caring. They also have a caring side. Nurturance, kindness,
Yep.
generosity, and service are some of their greatest
A
attributes.
lot of people don't realize.
They're surprisingly sensitive with a sensual and sweet disposition. They're very loyal and faithful, making wonderful friends, lovers, and
Right.
business partners, and they can be both headstrong and assertive, and selfless and cooperative. Inner empathy allows them to be wonderful listeners, givers of wise counsel, and providers of emotional and psychological support. They should always remember the magnetic and receptive feminine qualities that are available to them, because they do have a tendency to be controlling, overly dominant, and desensitized. Aquarius. Glyph. Astrological symbol, the water bearer. Ruling planet, Uranus. Element and quality, air, fixed. Original. Original, inventive, innovative, quirky, and unique. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of change and revolutionary advancement. Aquarians have their eyes set in their future, on some scientific, technological, or spiritual advancement. They excel in paths and professions or vocations where they can tune into something new and birth a new idea, frequency, or blueprint for humanity. They're peculiar and often seen as the oddball or black sheep in the family and community groups. They're deeply altruistic and humanitarian, which are beautiful qualities. However, they need to be cautious of becoming a rebel just for the sake of it. Conscious rebellion is great, but rebelling out of immaturity or ignorance is not. Optimistic. Aquarians are upbeat, energetic, zestful, and optimistic. They are very positive-natured with a lot of spirit and enthusiasm for life. They're not lazy, but they are easygoing and relaxed. They love music, art, and nature and have a profound artistic and imaginative side. They're intuitive and logical too. One downside for being
That first book I started yesterday, it only had the sun and the moon signs. So I downloaded this one this morning. It has got the sun, moon, and rising signs. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. It's only 2 hours. The other one was 6 hours. I did 3 hours of it yesterday. So I'm gonna do this one. Because you're supposed to know your big three, not just your sun and your moon. I already did Aries, Taurus, Capricorn. I meant to start from Capricorn this morning and go backwards. But y'all get it. What's once I okay. Once I finish Pisces, then I'm gonna go back to Sagittarius and go back down.
Up is that they can be quite superficial, lacking the depth that comes with emotional intelligence and empathy. Yes, they're compassionate and empathic, but they also prefer intellectual and mental connection, which can leave them emotionally disconnected or aloof. This is something to be mindful of. Independent. They take pride in their independence and originality. They are extremely attractive to non-codependent and overly sensitive or sentimental types, and this further allows them to connect with people from all walks of life. They're sociable, friendly, and generally warm and open-minded people. Such strong independence allows them to make use of their minds. Intelligence, cleverness, and brilliance design them. Intelligence, cleverness, and brilliance designs them. Some Aquarians are calm and sensitive, which provides a good balance and makes space for skill mastery and self-development. If they can learn to let go of judgment and pessimism, they can achieve a financially comfortable and prosperous life. Pisces. Glyph. Astrological symbol, the fish. Ruling planet, Neptune. Plus Jupiter, ancient. Element and quality, water,
I'm trying to fold
mutable.
up clothes and everything.
Imaginative. Imaginative, intuitive, and seer-like. With powerful instincts, Pisces embodies all of the qualities of water. They are magnetic, soulful, down-to-earth, spirited, and dreamy. They're connected to the spiritual and mystical realms and can tune into universal archetypes and innovative ideas at will. They can be creative geniuses, also using sensitivities for psychic, clairvoyant, and telepathic connection and communication. They're blessed with evolved and advanced emotional sensitivity, empathy, wisdom, maturity, and intelligence. So they usually use this gift to help others. They can be escapists and overly dreamy or emotional. However, they have a unique connection to the waters of divinity, which make them extraordinary beings. Compassionate. Pisces is a sign of unconditional love and universal compassion. No one is quite as compassionate, tolerant, or non-judgmental as Pisces. They're sweet and sensitive with a friendly and welcoming aura. Their whole demeanor...
You say what now? You say, let me get my birth chart out. Then you say, be right back so I can figure out, because I truly am like one of the most Sagittarius and you can ever come across. Most of my things are Sagittarius. It's kind of weird, truthfully, when I had it. The first person was telling me he never had someone birth chart like mine. But I got a fire birth chart too. I'll tell you, every reader they have, when I be like in a collective reader, and I put my side, they say you got a fire chart. You got some fire placement. So I have Capricorn Sun, Taurus Moon, Leo Rising, Sagittarius, Venus, Neptune conjunction, Scorpio, North Node of Uranus, Aries, Lilith, Jupiter, Chiron, Midheaven. I got a Libra, Pluto, Gemini, Mars, Aquarius, Mercury, Pisces in the 9th house, Virgo in the 3rd house. I have every thing in my chart. I have every placement in my chart except Cancer. I got all of them except that.
As I will love you and hold space for you. There's no judgment or negativity here. Pisces are selfless. They're sweet, caring, kind, and generous too, and are more submissive and sacrificial than domineering and selfish. And they do need to be careful of being too sacrificial, however. This sign has a tendency to be taken advantage of or succumb to. either playing victim or taking the role on trying to save everyone. At their highest vibration, they are natural empaths and wise people who give impeccable advice. They have a limitless source of wisdom and intuitive insight. Multi-talented. As the 12th and final sign, Pisces are incredibly gifted in many things. They're adaptable and chameleon-like, able to absorb vibrations and frequency from external reality and embody them. This means they may be mastered in a number of skills, abilities, and talents. Being so connected to the divine and multidimensional nature of reality makes them impressionable, visionary, idealistic, open-hearted, and open-minded, with a healing presence and nature.
Hey, Auntie.
Many Pisces become counselors, caregivers, therapists.
I'm gonna showcase you next on my channel. Like I be showcasing how different readers read and interpret cards differently. I was waiting on you to pop up so I could ask you about it. I said I'm gonna showcase Auntie Karen next.
Or spiritual healers, while others excel in the arts.
I'm going
Their
backwards.
lesson in life is to develop strong boundaries and learn when to say no to reserve their time and energy. Sagittarius. Glyph, astrological symbol, archer
The hunter.
/ centaur. Ruling planet, Jupiter. Element and quality, fire, mutable.
Yes, I love
Spirited.
her too. Her and Zane.
Sagittarius has immense spirit, life force, and inner artistry. They're creative, extroverted, social, and friendly. People know that they can rely on them for their big personalities and ability to light up a room. The Sagittarius is a natural leader, visionary, and idealist who uses humor and joy to shine light on the darkness. They can be somewhat superficial, shallow, frivolous, but this is because they are so upbeat and restless. Positively.
Because it's true. Every reader interprets and reads cards differently. See, you can't just look at how one reader reads cards. It's like you got to go to different ones to get different messages. Because some of them, and then you have to discern and take away what resonates with you. You know what I'm saying, Auntie?
They have a large amount of creative life force and respect for the planet and others. Many Sagittariuses shine in an artistic, entertainment, speaking, or leading field, but they need to be more mindful of cutting cords and burning bridges from their restlessness and opportunistic nature. Optimistic. Optimistic, positive, upbeat, lively, enthusiastic. Sagittarius is the most adventure pro person. They love to travel, freedom, movement, and change, and they need to feel free and liberated. They despise restrictions and limitations, which includes clingy and codependent people. They are incredibly witty, humorous, and expansive by nature. So, kindred spirits and soul companions who show their love of spontaneity and adventure are best suited to their needs. They can crack jokes like there's no tomorrow. They can help people who see the positive in life and remind them that there is joy to be found everywhere. They're experts at entertaining people and are always the life and soul of the party and the one who is equally loud and extroverted. Philosophical, wise, intelligent, and perceptive. Sagittarius is on a perpetual path of learning, higher education, study, and wisdom acquisition. They're teachers and students, philosophers and world explorers, and open-minded souls with a love of social gatherings. They're smart and self-knowledgeable, and are usually in the know on a wide range of topics and experts on a few. Confidence, charisma, charm, and honesty come naturally to them, and they're surprisingly intuitive too. However, they can be self-righteous, arrogant,
Yeah, I'm
and
a Sagittarius,
superior,
Venus, and Neptune.
believing themselves to be better and to know
Yeah,
better than anyone
Sagittarius
else.
trip there.
Their lesson in life is to stay humble and modest enough to listen, learn, and be quiet every once in a while. Scorpio. Glyph, astrological symbol, scorpion. Ruling planet, Pluto. Plus Mars, ancient. Element and quality, water, fixed. Intuitive.
Scorpio, North Node, and Uranus.
Intuitive. Intuition and instincts are so well developed and evolved in a Scorpio that they are psychic and telepathic. Like water, this sign flows, adapts, and melds.
That's true.
Scorpio is intuitive beyond belief with skills in extrasensory perception. They're imaginative and artistically gifted, usually thriving in creative and musical fields. They're expressive and passionate too, which means they have a lot of life force and personal levels of inspiration. Soulful and majestic. Scorpios are intense. They can penetrate into your soul and raise your vibration through their light, intention, and subtle powers of persuasion. They're mysterious, loyal, kind, generous, and devoted too. But they need to be careful of vindictive and revengeful tendencies. Ambitious. Ambitious and resourceful. This is the most assertive and dominant water sign. Mars is Scorpio's ancient ruler. So even though they are gentle and sensitive with all the key qualities of water, they also have a willful and courageous side. Scorpio is destined for success in professional and personal accomplishment. And they are resourceful, ambitious, self-knowledgeable, and confident individuals. Their independence allows them to shine and thrive in a number of fields and vocations, while their silent power makes them dark horses. Scorpios need to learn how to use their power for community and harmonizing activities, and not serve the self or ego.
You miss Aries.
Magnetic, sensual, sensitive, and spiritual.
Aries and Taurus.
And connected to the mysterious and subtle powers of the universe. Scorpio appears to not be from this world. They're in tune with astral and ethereal forces, and such a fine-tuned sensitivity makes them very loyal, devoted, and protective when it comes to love and friendship. They can be secretive and prone to isolation, perhaps taking being a lone wolf too far. However, they are desired and sought after due to such a charismatic and captivating, if not intense, personality. Being vulnerable and honest with their feelings will help them to overcome mild depression, isolation, and jealousy. Possessiveness and extreme independence often associated with this sign. Libra. Glyph. Astrological symbol. Scales. Ruling planet. Venus. Element and quality, air, cardinal, artistic. Libras are social butterflies who excel in the artistic and imaginative fields. They are both intuitive and intelligent, allowing them to access a range of talents, perspectives, and subtle channels of energy and perception. Many Libras become artists, actors, entertainers, television or radio hosts, or speakers, or work in any creative field. They are excellent communicators and project an aura of class, confidence, and charm. They're very charming. Their lesson in life is to speak and act from the heart without the need for external validation or praise. Egotistical and narcissistic tendencies are common.
Ooh.
Fair. Fair, just, balanced, and harmony-seeking. Libras crave peace and quality in all they do. They're concerned with social justice, morality and ethics, and all matters of fairness and equity.
Yeah. I like Libra.
Career choices usually reflect their need for harmony and cooperation. Simultaneously, in their personal lives, Libras are natural listeners, counselors, caregivers, and support systems.
Okay.
They have an amazing ability to put others at ease,
Aries was the
offer
first
balanced
one of the
perspectives,
sun
and
signs prophecy.
shine light on darkness. Although they do have mood swings and can succumb to depression and insecurity, Libra is generally positive and optimistic. Being peace-seeking makes them natural lovers and deeply romantic. Wise, perceptive, and supremely intelligent. In addition to being intuitive and imaginative, they're also extremely analytical. A Libra's mind is unique, innovative, creative, and beautiful. They seek beauty and harmony in life,
Libras,
while excelling in logic, reason, and higher
you know, I've always, now my first husband was a Cancer, but I've always been drawn toward like other earth elements like Taurus or Capricorns. With Leos, some so, but I've always been attracted to water signs and earth signs.
functioning. Their glyph is the scales. After all, left brain, right brain balance is an asset. So some people will see them as deeply intelligent and wise, whilst others will see their romantic, sensual, caring, and attentive side. Both are true. Intelligence flows through them, and they crave companionship, authentic connection, intimacy, and affection. Virgo, glyph, the astrological symbol, Virgin/Maiden. Ruling planet, Mercury. Element and quality, Earth and mutable. Dutiful, responsible, practical, and efficient are some of the best qualities of Virgo. They always have both feet on the ground, which makes them extremely practical and materially.
What I did was I started out with Aries. I did Aries and Taurus because we're in the sun signs now. That's what I meant to start with Capricorn. My sign they go backwards. That's why I went forward. Now I'm going backwards to Gemini. Yeah, Gemini gonna be the last sun sign in this section. Then we're gonna go to the moon signs, and I just go ahead and start at the beginning with Aries because that this book here has all the big three in it. She called it the divine three because the other book I started yesterday only had your sun and your moon signs. But you have to know, you really need to know all three of your signs, your sun, moon, and your right. And you need to know your Venus too, as well as know. That's why I tell everybody they need to get their natal chart. So we got Virgo. Who's gonna be next? Leo gonna be after Virgo.
Tune. However, it often leaves them spiritually disconnected, cut off from the ethereal and subtle forces and energies of the world. Positively, they have an artistic and creative side that can be assessed when they balance their materialistic side with the less tangible. Virgos should look to their opposite sign, Pisces.
I get tired of everybody want to start with. Well, I know Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but damn, the only reader is to start with Capricorn is the hot nerd. Now she's good too. Auntie, check her out. Hot nerd, love tarot. She always start with Capricorn and then go down. She start with the beginning of the year, then go down.
Inspiration and lessons connecting to spirit, the imagination and philosophical values and qualities. Modest, selfless, and humble. Virgos are amazing friends to have. Their true nature is defined by helpfulness and service.
For y'all in the chat that don't know Auntie Karen and Enchanted Cottage, go check Auntie Karen out. She the bomb now. I'm trying to find my phone so I can mod you up, Auntie.
Live to serve. As a feminine earth sign, They are magnetic and receptive, and generally submissive over dominant, which makes them sincere and likable. Kindness and generosity comes naturally to them, so they should always stay connected to the vibration of kindness and humility. They do have a cold and callous side, however, for the most part. They are empathic and compassionate. Sweetness, nurturance, caring, and emotional intelligence are other key qualities. Intelligent. Ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and expression, which includes the exchange of information, ideas, and knowledge. Virgo is incredibly intelligent. They're perceptive, wise, methodological, observant, and analytical, with key skills in logical and rational thinking. Virgos are real problem solvers with a well-developed level of intuition, too, providing they can stay connected to their senses and instincts. They tend to suffer from anxiousness and are nervous, verging on neurotic thinking. Stress levels are higher in Virgos than any other sign, but this is because they overthink. Being more sensual and down to earth helps them immensely. Leo, glyph, also known as the astrological symbol, the lion. Ruling planet, the sun. Element and quality, fire and fixed. Courageous. Leo are skilled in self-leadership and courage. They exhibit extraordinary levels of self-confidence, charisma, self-esteem, and willpower. And they are natural-born leaders and motivators. Leo is the type of person who will stand up for the underdog, barge their way into a crowd to protect someone vulnerable, or use their keen intellect and intelligence to fight for social justice. They equally excel in the speaking, entertaining, performing, artistic, coaching, and teaching fields, as they have a big voice and strong presence. Leo needs to transcend the need for attention and being everyone's boss, however, be the king or queen, but do so in a way that brings unity and togetherness, not separation and hierarchy. Loyal. Loyalty, devotion, friendship, integrity, and heart are some of the greatest strengths of this noble and regal lion. Leo is an amazing friend and lover, always showering others with gifts of time, affection, energy, money, and whatever else they feel to give. Leo has a big heart and an equally big spirit. They're magnanimous, generous, loving, warm-hearted, and gregarious. They're known for supreme levels of kindness and even selflessness. One downside of their personality is the need for external validation and admiration. They need to learn how to give without expectation and lose the need for constant praise.
I have a Leo. He young. He about 10 years younger than me. He got a little crush on me. He be talking all. He be calling me, text me, talking about babe. I said, boy.
Passionate, energetic,
you don't love me no more.
youthful, and spirited. The Leo has an immense energy and life force. They are sociable creatures who crave companionship and social engagement.
He must be mad.
Charming and charismatic. People know they can look to Leo for fun and optimism. They're generally positive and positive-natured, and they know how to bring passion and inspiration to any group event or gathering. Leos love the limelight, and they love to shine well. However, they need to learn how to command respect and admiration gracefully instead of becoming bossy, domineering, and tyrannical. Leo is one of the most egotistical and dramatic signs of the zodiac, something to keep in mind.
But I tell you, everybody want to call me when I be recording.
Virgo, glyph.
Hey, hold on a minute.
The astrological
Where's the Cancer?
Cancer. Glyph. The astrological symbol, a crab. Ruling planet, the moon. Element and quality, water, cardinal. Empathic. As the sign of the empath, a Cancer is as advanced emotionally as one can be. They're compassionate, intuitive to other people's needs, and more selfless than selfish or self-centered. Cancers are the type of people who embody an evolved emotional frequency, meaning they're great listeners and natural counselors. They're wise and project an aura of kindness, gentleness, and benevolence, although they're fiercely protective of those they love. A key lesson in life is for Cancer to learn self-care and the true meaning of boundaries. This then allows them to give and continue to embody such a high level of empathy and caring without resulting in burnout. Sensitive. Sensitive, imaginative, clairvoyant, and magnetic. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the planet of the psyche and subconscious mind. This sensitive water sign is
I'm
able
telling you, every time I start recording, I tell everybody, I said, y'all know what? Ain't nobody call me. As soon as I start recording, everybody they both gonna call. My aunt from New Jersey don't call. I don't have my brother don't call me because I don't have to tell all of them I was busy. Then one of my homeboy, he just texts me. Every time, it don't never fail.
tune into universal archetypes and ideas for extraordinary vision and insight. They're skilled in subtle perception, taking on the role of nurturer and caregiver, and being seen as a gem to friends and lovers. Having such a kind and gentle disposition
Crazy.
makes them faithful and loyal to the max, in addition to romantic and impressionable. But being so sensitive often leads to hypersensitivity, isolation, extreme bouts of privacy or depression, and the need to enclose themselves in a protective bubble. They are also quick to temper with an inner rage and grudge, a tendency to hold grudges that matches no other.
Yeah, Cancer is something else too. Now
Like
my
it.
first husband, he was a Cancer. He was a sweet person, but you better not cross him. Ooh wee, you got a problem then. But he dead now, but you would have had a problem then.
Cancers excel in the realm of spiritual and psychic gifts. They're naturally clairvoyant, telepathic, and instinctive with incredible intuition. And only the sister sign, Pisces, can match Cancer's psychic and instinctive gifts. Being so attuned to the realms of subtle and spiritual energy makes them gifted creatively, artistically, and imaginatively too. Sparks of inspiration and creative genius may flow at any given moment, and they can create and manifest with the energies of the universe. Mystical, third eye activated, dreamy and soulful. Cancer is the sign of practical magic. Boundaries are important throughout life so they don't overgive, overshare, or people please.
Wasn't there a movie called Practical Magic one time?
Also known as the astrological symbol for twins. The ruling planet is Mercury. Element and quality, air, mutable. Intelligent. Gemini is the sign of the higher mind, which includes all aspects of expression and communication. Ruled by Mercury, Gemini is also able to thrive in conversation, communication, problem solving, analytical and logical thinking, intuition, observation, and advanced thought forms based on innovative solutions and the exchange of ideas and concepts. Essentially, everything to do with intellect, logic, and higher reasoning is where the sign excels.
All right, Gemini.
Being cerebrally gifted makes emotions a difficult topic. However, and emotions are intrinsic to life. Aloof, avoidant, and often in denial, Gemini needs to learn how to open up to others, be more vulnerable, and speak and act with more emotional depth and maturity. Quick-witted. Quick-witted, funny, sociable, friendly,
That's you, Auntie.
extroverted, and the life and soul of the party. Geminis are social butterflies and are the chameleons too, as they are very adaptable and flexible. Geminis are able to multitask and think up new topics of conversations in a heartbeat. They're energetic, lively, agile-minded, colorful, and optimistic, and are wonderful speakers and natural teachers. They have some visionary qualities too. However, being so upbeat and zestful also makes them impulsive, impatient, and prone to fickleness. Restless, all over the place, non-committal,
Whoa.
and frivolous.
Uh-oh.
This air sign will often start something, a project,
No,
relationship, and then stop abruptly. They're not very dependable and are so light-hearted, they can also be described as superficial.
Oh no,
Creative.
not superficial.
Creative,
I don't think
artistically gifted, and imaginative. Geminis excel in the realm of creativity and artistic self-expression. They're not all rationality, analytics, and brains. They also have a highly imaginative and colorful side to them, as they are twins, a dual sign by nature. They're balanced in terms of the left brain and the right brain. This makes them very, very bright. They can tune into holistic perspectives and multidimensional patterns of thought and awareness. They're able to perceive subtle energy through language and communication exchange, and they're usually developed in a specific skill like language, art, music, or philosophy. Many Geminis go on to become artists, authors, speakers, entertainers, performers, or outspoken word comedians.
Okay, now hold on. Now I can finish doing my chores because we're gonna go into the moon signs, and I'm just gonna let it go from the beginning to the end. That way, I don't have to be here to catch it when it's time to switch up signs.
Chapter 2, Moon Signs. Moon in Aries. If your moon is in Aries, you are a bold, independent, and highly expressive individual indeed. You can be very impulsive and restless, and this is not a sign where the
So
moon...
you know, I have Black Moon Lilith in Aries. I have Black Moon. I have Lilith, Jupiter, Chiron, and Midheaven in Aries.
feels most at home. You most likely seek alternative pathways when it comes to forming roots and family. You might be into a traveling lifestyle or prefer to live in some eco-conscious, shamanic, or alternative co-living community, for example. You could also want more freedom and movement within a traditional home environment, like through taking regular travel or work trips. A moon in Aries native is all about adventure and spontaneity. Passions run deep with you. Although you may have a tricky time expressing them, you lack gentleness, humility, and even empathy and compassion at times. You can be impatient, irrational, and quick to temper. There certainly isn't the emotional sensitivity and depth present as with the other lunar signs, but you are fiercely loyal and protective of loved ones. So this is a redeeming quality. Your emotions are characterized by a sense of urgency. This isn't good for intimacy or the longevity of relationships, unless you work on this flaw. However, it's great for fight or flight situations and life events that need quick action and a courageous heart. You have a warrior spirit, and your basic drives throughout life are to fight for the underdog, stand up for what you think is right, and find ways to express your truth. And, although you may not be supremely compassionate or sensitive to the needs of others, you can lead by example and transform emotional forces into psychological ones, which is a unique gift. Follies to work on: impatience, quick temper, impulsiveness, and indifference. You need to work on being more caring, modest, and empathic, and how to put others' needs and emotions above your own from time to time. Irritability, overreaction, and a demanding attitude. Instead of needing everything now or wanting to be number one, learn cooperation. teamwork, and harmony. There are many passive qualities to having your moon in Aries that are often overlooked by such strong shadow tendencies. Transform defensiveness and reaction to inspired action. Reaction can be replaced with instinctive awareness and responsiveness, which can be attained and achieved by turning toward meditation, mindfulness, and various forms of self-therapy. You have immense optimism and confidence, and these two qualities can be brought into the forefront by being mindful of your tendency to be quick to react. Self-help and self-care tips. Nurture your innate loyalty and devotion to friends and family. You are a passionate and fearless character with immense heart. So these traits create some of your most prominent desires and drives in life. Such impulsiveness and a need for instant emotional gratification is wonderful when expressed in the right ways. Either channel such intensity into a compatible partner and home and family life, such as making love often and having children and leading by example. Or consider a sporty or physical career which involves a lot of movement, physical exercise, or action, travel.
Are we in Taurus?
Also, you are true to your feelings and responses, even if they are ugly. Nurture and strengthen the true emotions because this will help with your credibility. Peers, friends, lovers, and coworkers love seeing you stand strong in your truth. It's inspiring, both the darker and lighter aspects. Being honest with yourself and others and committing to complete authenticity in life is the way to make the most of hidden talents and gifts. Authenticity will help the shadow aspects of this moon placement to be exposed, while naturally aligning you with the positive ones. Finally, you have a childlike innocence to you, which is adored by many. Be playful if ever in doubt. And always remember that children can throw temper tantrums just as much as they can be charming and lovable. Moon in Taurus.
Taurus moon.
Moon in Taurus natives are down-to-earth, modest, and strong-willed. They are very unique and individual people.
Yep.
So if this is you, you most likely have a set of skills and strengths others don't know about. You're in tune with your senses.
Yep.
Sensuality designs you, and you love all things related to beauty, romance, and harmony.
Yeah,
This is a very romantic and gentle lunar placement. You're compassionate, kind, generous, and even selfless, and you're not short of empathy. Lunar Taurus natives navigate life through the 5 physical senses, primarily. However, you still have a connection to the spiritual and invisible dimensions of life. Your heart is pure, genuine, and sensitive, and you're authentic and sincere with your words, time, energy, gifts, and affections.
Yep.
If your moon is in Taurus, you crave security and material comforts. You actually feel quite lost without stability, healthy attachments, and a sense of home and belonging. You need to feel safe, and you enjoy forming emotional, spiritual, and psychological bonds and connections.
That's all.
Harmony is important to you as well. So when there's a lack of harmony, it shows that something isn't right internally. Taurus moon natives have a powerful presence, combined with such loyalty, devotion, benevolence, warmth, and grace. You are most likely a dependable and stabilizing force in your home and family. Follies to work on. Be careful of being so stubborn that you resort to narrow-mindedness and a disconnection from your philosophical, big picture thinking and visionary side. Flexibility and rigidity of mindset is what leads you to feeling disconnected from your body, others, and the world around, because we are meant to grow and learn from other people.
That's right.
Stubbornness and inflexibility of mindset are 2 of your greatest flaws. Being materialistic is another. Try not to overlook the many other dimensions and factors in life by being so fixated on your physical foundation or on your resources, finances, or successes and accomplishments in the material realm. Your naturally romantic, spiritually inclined, and beauty-loving side can help with this. Aim for balance, as an imbalanced Taurus moon native is never pretty. Take more risks and be open to bouts of travel, Adventure is good for your soul. Self-help and self-care tips. You're incredibly determined, level-headed, perseverant, and achievement-oriented. These qualities can be nurtured to create a beautiful and secure life for yourself. Abundance flows to you when you're being true to yourself and tapping into your benevolent, generous, and unconditionally loving nature. So never lose sight of your core values, despite what the world may throw at you.
Now, you know I'm unique. Okay. Capricorn is the hardest working sign in the zodiac. And then I got a Taurus moon too. Stubborn to death on her.
Draw on your affectionate, kind, and selfless traits. Loyalty comes naturally to you as well, which can help you in love, business, and all areas of life. Further, you provide warmth and feelings of comfort, safety, and protection to others. You sometimes don't even know you're doing it, but you do. You have such an easygoing and relaxed persona or aura that people feel comforted through your presence alone. Stay laid back and down to earth, whilst never losing sight of your values or your commitment to personal integrity.
I love being a Capricorn.
Romantic, artistic, and nurturing, caring, empathic gifts
so
should be nurtured too, as these are a core part of your primary drives in life. Finally, you possess strong primal instincts. Instincts that can be your greatest source of inspiration and light. You strive for self-protection and to protect the integrity and well-being of those you love, which makes you appear very responsible and loving to most people. Never compromise your faithfulness and gentle heart for anyone. The people who are meant to be in your life will be. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini natives are optimistic, quick-witted, charismatic, and self-expressive people. If this is you, you're charming and confident in a self-knowledgeable way. Communication and the ability to express yourself is paramount throughout life as you thrive on social connections and exchanges with others. Intellectual rapport, exchanging ideas and information, speaking your truth, and learning from external environments are very important to you. This isn't a very emotional or spiritual moon placement. However, it is strongly intellectual and psychologically active.
My brother, his birthday is December the 24th, and my nephew, which is his son, his birthday is December 23rd, and then I'm January 12th.
Fun, play, community, creativity, and the arts all feature strongly in your life. A real party goer. You prefer big social interactions and group events. You love the thrill and buzz of being surrounded by people from all walks of life. You love color, music, and the imagination too. In saying this, you do have a pessimistic and moody side. Because you're always so up, it is difficult for you to handle being down. You sometimes don't quite know how to make sense of alone time, introspection, or solitude, which can leave you feeling out of sorts. Alternating between extremes has its setbacks, but for the most part, you are a high-spirited and joyful, optimistic, and playful soul who enjoys the rapport and self-analysis that comes with being an active participant in life. Qualities to work on. Being too yang, fiery, and extroverted can be a problem. You have a hard time sharing your emotions and inner needs. Emotional aloofness and detachment is an issue with all lunar Gemini natives. You can be very immature and childish. Temper tantrums, explosive responses, irrationality, and irritability are all common. Learning to find peace with yourself will help to overcome this. Find your own hobbies and projects, in other words, so you don't feel so moody or triggered when your high comes down. Nervous tension and anxiety can also come about through having such an active mind. You should learn to slow down, stop over-worrying, and lose any neurotic and psychotic tendencies. Still and calm your mind, and Take it easy on yourself if work forces take over. Also, heal your relationship with your mother. This lunar placement may have issues that stem from an inharmonious or disruptive home and family life. One's roots come under the moon sign influence, and Gemini is not as deep or emotionally secure as some of the other signs. Self-care and self-help tips. You're deeply in tune with your inner child. However, you have a profound imagination with many creative talents. You're gifted in the realms of speaking, teaching, and entertaining. So you would be wise to strengthen these innate gifts throughout life. Your inner child is carefree, artistically gifted, open, and warm-hearted, and you're naturally friendly and welcoming to all people you encounter. You should seek to master yourself and your unique qualities. Otherwise, you may fall into boredom, apathy, and laziness. It's very easy for lunar Gemini natives to become restless to a point of mild depression or a lack of motivation to dream and achieve in life. This is due to being so impulsive and upbeat, your mind can see multiple and even endless opportunities. Positively, this makes you optimistic, excitable, and inspiration-seeking with a love of community and culture connections. Channeling this inner driving force will enable you to multitask and access a range of skills, qualities, strengths, and create a life of happiness and prosperity for yourself. Play to your strengths as well. If you know emotions aren't your strong suit, find resonance with the people who provide you with intellectual and psychological support. Also, imaginative and artistic pursuits will help you to develop more sensitivity, compassion, and romantic interests. Moon in Cancer. If your moon is in Cancer, you feel most at home with your emotions and the emotional currents and needs of others than any other sign. The moon is at home in Cancer, as Cancer is the moon's ruling sign. This means that all of the favorable qualities of the moon are highlighted and amplified. Yay, you're psychic, impressionable, magnetic, and sensitive. You have vastly evolved levels of compassion and empathy, and you are blessed with imaginative and artistic gifts. You're also a natural empath, meaning you are receptive and generally caring of the feelings and needs of others. Your persona is dreamy, and you have an ability to make everyone feel safe, seen, and understood. Your subconscious mind and psyche are alive and buzzing. You have access to universal archetypes, hidden realms of spirit, and genius levels of creativity and inspiration. You seem to just know things. Your instincts are activated and awakened. Instinctive awareness, intuition, psychic gifts, clairvoyance, and healing abilities are all well developed. Dreams also play in the life of a Cancer lunar native, which implies you can access vivid and symbolic dreams quite effortlessly. You learn from your dreams, knowing that there are deeper messages and hidden truths to be discovered. Further, there is a silent but powerful strength to you. You may not be bold in a direct or fiery way, but you possess timeless wisdom and spiritual maturity, self-knowledge, and an intuition that never lies. Relationships, romance, and harmony are important to you. Follies to work on. Be careful of an excessive need for isolation, self-protection, and privacy. Your need to recharge your batteries can leave you disconnected from social and family groups and prone to serious bouts of isolation. You're so self-protective that you can become unconsciously cold, detached, or hyper-independent, succumb to the other side of your extreme, which is codependency. You may alternate between being codependent, isolated, and withdrawn from life, which you may view as independence, but In reality, it is a symptom of unhealed or unresolved wounds and trauma. Depression, mood swings, and pessimism are another major flaw in the moon of Cancer. You take on everything. Everything. Emotions, feelings, impressions, other people's pain and suffering, the suffering of that frail grandma that you've never met, and that kitten in a country on the other side of the world. Oh, and the trees and planet itself. You feel everything on a deep level. So it can be all too much for you as an empath with such a big heart. Be careful of your sensitivities and being everyone's empath, counselor, healing, or free therapist. Self-help and self-care tips. You're so sensitive to the moods, emotions, desires, intentions, and needs of other people that you need to engage in self-care regularly. This is the moon sign most prone to burn out. So rest, rejuvenation, and self-care are essential. When you're at your best, when you've had time to heal and strengthen your boundaries, center yourself, and connect to your own source of personal power, you are a force to be reckoned with. Instinctive, intuitive, psychic, empathic, caring, nurturing, and imaginative and artistic gifts shine when you're in tune with your inner light. Telepathy may come naturally to you as well. Keep a close check on the people you keep in your orbit or circle. Family and home life are very important to you, and you often invite friends into your home or into the foundation you've built for yourself. Make sure you don't have people in your friendship circle who are secretly throwing rocks in your boat, or those who gossip about you and put you down when you're not around. As for family, you love creating an abundant, happy, and emotionally and spiritually supportive home environment. You enjoy sharing creative and imaginative gifts within a traditional home setting, and you can alternate between the life and soul of a social gathering when you feel comfortable with those you love. To the wise, empathic, and compassionate one, offering a sage-like counsel and support on a one-to-one basis. Other qualities to nurture include mystical tendencies, your already amazing memory, and the ability to see beyond the veil, extrasensory perception. Moon in Leo. Moon in Leo natives love being the center of attention. They love the spotlight, socializing, romance, creativity, drama, and the arts. They're one of the most creative and passionate people of the zodiac, and are both positively expressive, dramatic, and egotistical. If your moon is in Leo, you are a powerful influencer, a natural speaker and performer, and skilled in music, art, singing, or some other creative and imaginative outlet. You're not so much a team player as you enjoy taking center stage and strutting your stuff. You want people to admire you, and this can lead to a lack of humility and modesty on your part. In saying this, you are incredibly loyal and loving to those you love, and you have many beautiful traits. You're kind, generous, affectionate, and supportive when you're not seeking the limelight. This is a very social moon placement, although you do enjoy intimacy and one-on-one connections. Romance, soulmate connections, and love are always on your mind. You need channels and outlets to express your immense passion and playfulness. So it's important that you have creative and artistic hobbies, projects, and friendships in your life. You thrive in a loving environment where you can be both admired and appreciated, and admire and shower your loved ones in affection and tokens of the heart. Follies to work on. Being a tyrant, bully, or dictator. This is one of the most egotistical lunar placements, with a strong tendency to lord it over others or constantly seek to outshine them. You need validation, reassurance, and attention quite often. It can be quite immature, but being aware of this is the first step towards healing. And once you've integrated your shadow trait, that need for external validation, you can find peace within yourself and connect more to your light qualities. Just like having a sun in Leo, you might find yourself being a drama magnet. Either you attract drama or it always seems to find you, which is due to being ruled by the sun, literally the center of the solar system. As the sun is Leo's natural ruler, a Leo moon native will find power dynamics feature strongly throughout life. There's an inherent need for balance, unity, and equilibrium, specifically around the balance and harmonization of yin and yang, feminine and masculine energies. Self-help and self-care tips. Work on nurturing your loving, kind, and loyal side, as this is the key to the beauty and love you crave. One of your greatest desires in life is for a loving, supportive, and respectful relationship and friendship circle. Your kindness and generosity know no bounds, which is your saving grace in many situations. Even when people have seen your ego in full force, even when they've been on the receiving end of some truly terrible and tyrannical outbursts, someone will always remember you for your sincerely magnanimous heart. Never stop being protective and fiercely loyal to those you love and what you believe in, because your light is so powerful. Whatever you do, it's necessary that you have creative outlets. Or a natural born performer and entertainer, and most likely excel in acting, singing, speaking, performing spoken word, and wild displays of your emotions and inner currents. Success and fame may come naturally to you as well if you choose to really develop and master the life force within. Life force needs expression. Connect to your independence and need to be in the spotlight in whatever is true for you. Otherwise, you may find yourself playing drama king or queen. Seek to strengthen your inner courage and boldness too. Leo moon natives love to fight for social justice, the underdog, and equality. This will instantly help you shift away from your darker traits, being infuriatingly bossy, nitpicky, domineering, and controlling. As you require the love and emotional support from others, it's important that you don't fall into these lower traits. You wouldn't want to alienate your greatest support systems, would you? Moon in Virgo. If your moon is in Virgo, you are a sensitive, reserved, and modest person who avoids the limelight. You prefer to focus on the practical aspects of life, and you're extremely helpful and service-oriented, sensitive, and good-natured. Some of your best traits include being kind, generous, and loyal. You find comfort and emotional satisfaction in the little things, in the minor details, and the small things. You draw your self-esteem from the help, charity, and service you provide to others, too. Practicalities, being dependable, honoring your work commitments, and living up to the duties at home and within social circles are what bring you the greatest joy. Your happiness and peace are strongly connected to your role in the world, home, or family, specifically with a link to the level of responsibility you can take on. Despite this being such a practical and domestic lunar placement, there is an innate drive to communicate and learn from and through the world, which is because Mercury is Virgo's ruling planet. Virgo moon natives are methodological, observant, analytical, intelligent, and really good problem solvers. They love learning from their environment and absorbing a range of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, textures, so they learn about themselves and others through the 5 physical senses. As their element is earth, they also have some potent instincts and a good intuition. Follies to work on. Pessimistic thinking and a negative mindset is the main one. There is a tendency to be very negative and suffer from low moods as a result. Self-doubt, insecurity, and low self-esteem are equally common with this moon sign. You should work on activities that raise your vibration, thus bringing joy and peace of mind. Being overly materialistic is another main folly. You can become so focused on the material and physical aspects of life that you stay disconnected spiritually, separated from the magic of poetry, music, the universe, the divine, and spirit itself. Small-mindedness and rigid thinking should be replaced with holistic, expansive, and broader horizon perspectives, viewpoints, and philosophies that incorporate a larger vision. Furthermore, your desires for emotional connection and both platonic and romantic intimacy can be affected through the following: nagging, criticism, and cynicism. These are all linked to judgment. Oh yes, this is the most judgmental lunar placement. So meditate, engage in self-therapy, and let your emotions free through self-expression. Self-help and self-care tips. Selfless, generous, caring, kind, and compassionate. You thrive in situations where your inner empathy can come out. It can't be stressed enough how much you like to be of service, to be helpful and needed by others. You might not crave attention in the same way Leo, the previous sign, does, but you still need reassurance and support. Sexual intimacy, romantic bonds, platonic friendship, and connections with some sustenance are desired by Virgo moon people. A lack of self-confidence can be desired and seen as adorable by certain people. So you would be wise to check out your natal chart in full, learn about astrology and compatibility, and find ways to align with your soul. Your true self is your higher self, and this realization and integration comes about with spiritual healing and exploration. Develop a steady routine as well. You don't favor too well from frequent change in movement, spontaneity, or disruptions to your daily reality. Your best traits shine bright when you feel secure, safe, and in a steady groove. Security and stability mean a lot to you. Psychological and emotional fulfillment arise when you have a few close connections and some aspect of sacred space or a foundation you can call yours. Thus, nurture the intimate partnerships that mean the most to you. Choose quality over quantity. Anything other than that will leave you feeling insecure and playing into your low self-worth and self-doubt, which simultaneously leads to stress, anxiety, and nervous tension. Moon in Libra. Moon in Libra natives are harmony-loving, peace-seeking, and fair and just individuals. They're incredibly artistic, imaginative, intuitive, and perceptive. Their skills lie in the left brain domain of logic, reason, rationality, and analysis, and in the right brain domain of intuitive free flow, creativity, and imagination. If your moon is in Libra, you are driven by a desire to share your time and energy with like-minded people and kindred spirits. You love to talk about culture, philosophy, and virtually all topics and subjects, and you are quite a social chameleon. Your emotions are generally stable and harmonious, and you're more balanced than the other air moon signs. However, you do resonate with psychological and mental connections. Your emotional intensity comes from your need for romance and artistic play. If you have a unique creative gift, you love sharing it with others. People see you as warm, friendly, empathic, considerate, and cooperative. You're a team player. However, you can thrive in your independence simultaneously. Your emotional happiness is a manifestation of the love and affections and respect you give and receive equally, meaning it needs to be a healthy flow of give and take. This lunar placement has a strong emphasis on marriage, partnership, and close relationships too. You may actually feel incomplete or in whole without a partner or soulmate by your side. You're sympathetic, understanding, a wonderful listener, and full of love to give. You may have many admirers from your artistic and academic capabilities. Follies to work on. Be careful of falling prey to the Libra shadow. That is the need to always be right and always thinking you're right. You have a bad case of intellectual superiority complex, which signifies that you believe yourself to be better than others, at least intellectually, due to knowing so much. This almost contradicts your harmony-loving and balanced nature. However, the positive is that this is how you can tune into the fairness, equality, harmony vibe to overcome your superiority issues. You can also be quite judgmental. It's not always conscious. You are silently observing everything and everyone, and this is what makes you judgmental. Indecision, manipulation, and procrastination are the other three main follies to watch out for. Your ability to go with the flow opens a doorway to procrastination and major indecision at times, and as someone prone to manipulation who doesn't mind distorting the truth, you can very easily become narcissistic or suffer from a form of narcissistic personality disorder. Self-help and self-care tips. You're one of the most charming and charismatic moon signs. Never compromise your genuine want of fairness, justice, and harmony, because this is what people remember you by. They love your sensitive nature and sincere desire for unity consciousness, aka cooperation. Any of the flaws outlined above can be overcome through turning your energy towards the light aspects, your desires for romance, beauty, and deeper forms of intimacy. Having your moon in Libra is much deeper than a sun in Libra, simply because the moon represents your primary driving forces as related to emotions and the way you relate to others. Psychological, emotional, instinctive, and spiritual processes can teach you a lot about yourself and the way you connect with others. They are also all necessary for your well-being and inner harmony. While other moon signs might be content with only one or two of them, you need them all to function properly. Continue to exhibit social grace and personal integrity. Success comes to you when you stay true to yourself and your values. While idealistic and visionary tendencies are great qualities to draw on, creative expression, music and art, education and study, inspirational pursuits, and accessing spiritual and imaginative gifts will provide you with the confidence and self-esteem needed to attract loving relationships into your life. You require mutually respectful and satisfying relationships, and without them, you are only a portion of your true self. Moon in Scorpio. If your moon is in Scorpio, you are one of the most intense and magnetic people around. You have a powerful intuition, potent instincts, and amazing artistic and imaginative gifts. You're resourceful, driven by ambition and a desire to make a name for yourself, and extremely affectionate and loyal. In addition to being driven by achievement and success, you're also motivated by love, companionship, and mutually respectful relationships. Empathy and compassion flow just as naturally as intuition and psychic gifts do. You're tuned into a spiritual and otherworldly reality, which makes you excel in the imaginative and creative fields. People with their moon in Scorpio are usually high desired due to such an intense magnetic aura. Telepathy may come instinctively to you, while exploring the occult, metaphysics, and mysticism can lead to a deep knowledge for the self. Further, you could very well have a healing nature, meaning you have healing hands and can heal others instinctively and without being trained by a healer, spiritual therapist, or shaman. You have many positives, so it might be wise to look up the strengths of the Scorpio sun here. Remember that the moon sign represents the subconscious desires and hidden drives, so apply the qualities to how you function instinctively, how you relate to others and interact with the world, and what your basic desires are. Pluto is another feminine planet, Scorpio's ruler, which makes the moon in Scorpio's placement very positive. You can thrive in a number of fields, careers, pathways, and life situations, from connecting to your inner empathy, intuition, intellect, and key self-awareness. Follies to work on. Mood swings, insecurities, and low self-worth can be a regular theme throughout life. So make sure you engage in regular self-care. Being so emotionally in tune, empathic, and psychic means you simultaneously feel everyone's pain and suffering, absorbing the emotions and pains of others if you're not careful. As you're compassionate, you equally feel the world's suffering and widespread trauma on a collective level. Try to stay centered and connected to your own life, feelings, thoughts, and emotions. When you've been hurt or have suffered a real betrayal, you can turn scarily vindictive and spiteful. Your whole sense of self is tied into the emotional and often spiritual bonds you keep. Thus, a soulmate bond broken can leave you feeling fragile and vulnerable, feelings you don't like. Your spitefulness can be even worse if a lover or someone close has intentionally caused you pain. All in all, you can destroy someone emotionally and psychologically if you become wounded, which leads to burning bridges and a worsening of your own shadow self. Be mindful of becoming too private as well. Lone wolf syndrome is common within this lunar placement, as is withdrawing into isolation and extreme privacy through such heightened sensitivities. Self-help and self-care tips. The best advice for you is to always stay connected to your psychic and spiritual gifts. You're one of the most intuitive, instinctive, and imaginative people, and combined with your amazing emotional intelligence and deep-seated empathy, you can navigate most of life's situations with ease. Never compromise who you are and your instincts, because this will leave you feeling disoriented and confused. Everyone functions differently, and you happen to be deep. Listen to the subtle and subconscious messages around you. The universe is always speaking to you, sending you divine guidance, inspiration, and signs. Spiritual healing, psychic development, shamanic techniques, and healing and meditation can all assist you in strengthening and integrating your unique gifts and abilities. Creativity and self-expression, whether it be musical, artistic, or academic, working your higher mind and intellectual self are also ideal choices for you. Water cleanses and heals, so make sure you take frequent travel trips and break away to natural bodies of water. Always seek to transform and better yourself. Self-mastery is intrinsically linked to Scorpio, and this means you're constantly seeking out experiences and relationships that will help you grow in some way, whether it be emotionally, psychologically, physically, materially, or spiritually. Loyalty, friendship, and a burning inner desire to create soulmate bonds and connections rule your primary drives in life. You function best as part of a loving and mutually supportive relationship or community. However, you do enjoy your own independence too. So it's important you find a balance that works for you. Solitude, introspection, and me time is potent for talent acquisition and self-mastery of skills, while you grow on a soul level through relationships. People are your mirror. In love, you'd be best to go for someone with a gentle and romantic disposition. Your caring, loving, nurturing, affectionate, and sensually loving side needs to shine. Moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius people are quite unique in that this is the most adventurous and spontaneous lunar placement. The positive characteristics are great. However, there are also quite a few negatives. For example, there is a significant lack of important places for practical affairs, domestic living, and family. This moon placement is incredibly impulsive, impatient, brash, and even reckless. Emotions lack depth and stability, There's little to no longevity when it comes to forming emotional bonds. Moon and Sagittarius people are the most restless and frivolous moon signs of the zodiac. If this is you, you crave self-autonomy, freedom, and independence. Anything that ties you down or even implies restriction is met with total resistance. You need to feel free to be who you want to be, pursue who you want to pursue, and follow your own passions and paths. Liberation and movement are your primary drive forces, and emotional satisfaction comes from such freedom and personal liberation. Positively, you're carefree, easygoing, active, and pragmatic. You enjoy connecting with people from all walks of life and lack the depth many people thrive on. You require stimulation and change, so not the traditional home and family life many others want. Lunar Sagittarius natives are most joyous when in an outgoing and open-minded energy, where they are meeting new people and socializing. Philosophy, culture, languages, higher education, travel, and spirituality are all pathways to psychological and emotional satisfaction. Follies to work on. A lot. Okay. Your love of freedom and adventure is awe-inspiring. However, you are so reckless, impulsive, and frivolous that it can be virtually impossible for you to form meaningful and lasting relationships. You need to work on longevity, commitment, and loyalty. Traits embodied by the water signs. You can learn a lot from them. Linked to being so freedom-loving is the aversion you have to routine and structure, which also includes practicalities. You can be totally irresponsible, lacking direction and duty, and an eternal seeker. You may never find roots or form a loving and supportive home or family life, or relationship for that matter, which is a shame as you believe in soulmate love somewhere deep within. Practicalities, finances, forming a career, and self-accountability are tricky areas for you. You can also be quick to temper, blunt verging on mean-spirited and aggressive. Lust may replace love and deeper or more authentic forms of intimacy too. Romance can be virtually non-existent if you don't have any positive Venus or other feminine planet placements. Your need for independence replaces the ability to form a long-term bond, which can have a negative impact on your psyche over time. Self-help and self-care tips. If you end up forming roots and having a home to call your own, make sure it's kept light and airy. Open spaces, indoor and outdoor plants, and pictures of cities, beaches, mountains, and other nature-type places are ideal for your well-being. Your inner desires reflect a need for a home environment that doesn't restrict you, make you feel trapped or repressed in any way, or remind you of the chains of your youth. Your philosophies and personal beliefs grow with age and maturity, and through direct experience, interaction with the world. If you don't choose a traditional path, make sure you stay in places that serve your spirit. Hostels, guest houses, ecodomes, and even camping tents are perfect for the Sagittarius moon individual. Another key element of your personality and subconscious desires is your inner teacher. You are a natural philosopher and religious or spiritual guru. You enjoy offering wise words of wisdom and insight, and you're naturally helpful. The star sign Sagittarius has links with Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, abundance, higher learning and philosophy, and spirituality. So even though this is a moon placement, these themes run throughout your life. Always stay committed to your optimistic and positive nature. You're so cheerful and genuinely friendly that loved ones have a difficult time staying angry at you. Your amazingly upbeat spirit can lighten the mood and pull someone out of the darkest of depressions. This is a gift to be nurtured and nourished. In other words, don't let it fall to the background. Seek to transform it into a teaching point, like Chiron, the wounded healer and greatest teacher simultaneously. Moon in Capricorn. If your moon is in Capricorn, you're cheerful, down to earth, optimistic, and hardworking. You're motivated by success, achievement, and making a name for yourself, and creating an abundant and secure home environment for your family. You believe in materialistic possessions providing emotional satisfaction, and you're not shy of obtaining financial prosperity. It's key to your comfort and well-being. In fact, this is because you take pleasure in life's senses, the 5 physical senses, bringing you wisdom, happiness, and inner contentment. You need to feel in control and self-mastery. A strive towards doing, being, and having better is core to your inner drive. You also need to have something that is yours, some foundation, significant accomplishment, victory, or physical thing that says success. You're not wholly materialistic, but this is important. Romantic, sensual, caring, kind, nurturing, and sweet. You embody all the feminine and loving qualities of an earth sign moon. You're slow to open up in love, or at least show all of you. But when you feel comfortable, you are more than happy to surrender into the arms of a compassionate and equally as giving lover. Harmony is essential, although you do have your flaws, as can be seen below. People describe you as charismatic, intelligent, and charming. You're happy to shine and take the lead or play as part of a team. And many lunar Capricorns end up using their emotional intelligence and well-developed empathy to lead in business or a larger organization. You have a magnetic and welcoming, warm and friendly demeanor about you. Yet, you're simultaneously wise, organizational, level-headed, and business-minded with managerial qualities. In short, this combo makes you a power force in any traditional setting, from home to the workplace. Follies to work on. Your main set of flaws lie in your need to be in control or gain control of others. You can be infuriatingly domineering and bossy. Being a control freak stems from hidden insecurity, so you'd be best to identify this early on. Your entire reality is entwined with your desires for security, stability, and supporting and respectful bonds. So when you feel like you don't have this, you become extremely dominant. Identify imbalances of power in your life, both internally and externally in your outer world. Other shadow self traits include being oversensitive, moody, pessimistic, and feeling like you're not worthy. You have a tendency to alienate those around you or misconfuse people's intentions. When loved ones are more than happy to provide you with the care and emotion and psychological support you deserve, you may think they're being superficial, untrue, or manipulating you. Work on your self-esteem and self-worth to overcome this. Self-help and self-care tips. You have a strong, burning desire to be of service to others, to help, and to be useful. You're motivated by a need to make a name for yourself, achieve fame and professional victory, or simply be of service to others in the world. Setting boundaries and having a vision board or a concrete plan of action to work from are important to stay motivated and aligned to your ambitions and to stay in sound mind and health. You're generally cool, calm, and collected, traits other people admire. However, you can get stressed if you don't engage in regular self-care. Despite giving off a level-headed demeanor and being obviously intelligent, organized, and resourceful, you possess a surprising level of emotional intensity. Instincts and a powerful intuition are not hard to come by. And you have some artistic and creative gifts that allow you to see the beauty in life. Finding an artistic and imaginative channel and outlet is really good for you and can provide healing and a deeper insight into your inner desires. Work with crystals that help to amplify your heart vibration. Rose quartz, rhodochrosite, and aventurine are perfect at increasing your love vibe. They will enable you to connect to your gentle, loving, and caring self, qualities that amplify your social status and the respect others have for you. Moonstone and gemstones for your sacral chakra are equally as beneficial. Embody grace, compassion, and sensitivity for the best opportunities in life. Moon in Aquarius. If your moon is in Aquarius, you are a quirky, positive, intelligent, and observant individual. You prefer to connect with others intellectually and psychologically, as opposed to emotionally. You can even be quite avoidant of emotions. Positively, you are always looking for original and innovative ideas and people to connect with. And you're attracted to independent thinkers and philosophers. This is the moon placement that most represents eccentricity, an alternative lifestyle, and a festival or tribal vibe. Community is very important to you, and although you may be a bit of a lone wolf, you certainly need your space. You always go back to the social bonds in your life. Your emotional satisfaction is birthed from your ability to form many friendships and be seen as bright, intelligent, and communicative. Despite emotions being a tricky spot, you can process clues from your environment and turn them into beliefs, philosophies, and ideas. You're perpetually seeking mental stimulation and new ideas into life, self, and language. You represent the eternal student, a knowledge seeker and explorer of consciousness. You can be shy, reserved, and withdrawn. However, so long as you use your lone wolf episodes to learn and master something, you usually do fine in life. Any intuitive bursts of genius you do receive comes from the capacity you have for processing external sensory data. Follies to work on. Self-centeredness, notions of superiority, egotistical tendencies, and judgment are key areas of growth for you. Because you are so perceptive and in tune with outside environments, you believe you are better than others. You think you know best and are perhaps the only one who can see things the way they are. Yet, many people can and do. Your tip is to seek out the revolutionaries, change makers, dreamers, artists, scientists, and kindred spirits who share in your philosophies and talents. This way, you can join forces and co-create as part of a team instead of giving into separation. Also, be careful of excessive lone wolf syndrome and boredom, loneliness, and thinking you're too much of an outside-of-the-box thinker to play with others. You need emotional ties just as much as everyone else does. Try to be more adaptable when it comes to emotions and vulnerabilities. You can be jealous, insecure, and petty. But this can be healed with meditation and exploring your emotions with intimate relationships. Don't repress, deny, or reject core aspects of yourself. You're intellectual, but you're also a primal and emotional creature. Self-help and self-care tips. You're friendly, sociable, and independent. Your romantic style is detached and freedom-loving. Depth doesn't come too easy for you, but you do like some bouts of romance and sensual self-expression. Moon and Aquarius people tend to go after multiple levels, at least certainly in youth. In adulthood, this moon placement might manifest as being drawn to polyamorous types of love or conscious, open relationships, strong-willed and purposeful. You tend to rebel when restricted, controlled, or repressed. You're always fighting for social justice and higher truths, while one of your main driving forces in life is to create some type of positive change, to leave your mark in the world. All of these core character traits should be understood and developed accordingly. Failing to neglect anyone could leave you misaligned from your true self. You should be an active participant in your life. Don't just be on the outside looking in other words. Idealistic, artistic, imaginative, intuitive, and visionary gifts and interests should be worked on. You possess the ability of connecting the subconscious forces where universal archetypes and ideas into our consciousness, the nature and meaning of life, etc., are rich. Many Aquarius moon natives go on to become inventors, quantum physicists, artists, speakers, and entertainers, authors, musicians, and performers, or technology or spirituality specialists. Your desire to birth the new and release the old blesses you with a lot of potential. Keep your mind attuned to the collective for the best success in life. Moon in Pisces. If you are a native lunar Pisces, you are a dreamy, impressionable, compassionate, and gifted divine being. This lunar placement is all about care, wisdom, and unconditional love you provide others with and the world at large. You're intuitive beyond belief, instinctive, self-aware, spiritually in tune, and mystical. You see beyond the veil of illusion and are in tune with subconscious forces, universal archetypes, and bigger picture visions. Astral gifts and divine healing abilities most likely come naturally to you. The life purpose of a moon in Pisces is to use their deep-seated empathy and spiritual awareness to raise humanity's vibration, bringing people out of the dark and into the light, and teaching through example. Artistic inspiration, poetry, storytelling, music, and creativity are all core routes back to the self, which can then be channeled to help others. You like to be of service, and you are gentle, soft, warm-hearted, loyal, and nurturing to those you love and the values you hold dear. You are emotionally intelligent, mature, wise, and aware. You're soulful, with a deep magnetic and sensual aura. People are attracted to your mystical and otherworldly vibe. You project majesty, grace, charm, and sex appeal. Romantic and sensitive. You could very well become a sex therapist or skilled in the art of tantric lovemaking. Alternatively, there is an aspect of hopeless romantic energy that can leave you feeling ungrounded, disconnected from reality, and overly self-sacrificing. At least in youth, positively, your ability to see with vision and a multidimensional perspective allows you to step into roles of self-leadership for healing, teaching, and way-shadowing. Your primary desires in life are for connection, authentic, deep, soulful, and spiritual connection. Follies to work on. Moodiness, pessimistic thinking, self-sacrifice, and escapism are your main follies. In your desire for peace, harmony, and unconditional love, you give too much of yourself away, becoming a doormat or everyone's free therapist. You can lack boundaries, which leaves you disconnected from your body and from reality. Also, moodiness and pessimism lead you to extreme solitude and isolation, literally taking on the world's suffering single-handedly. You may give into fantasy, glamorize suffering, become codependent, and become people-pleasing. You have issues with saying no, giving yourself the same amount of care you give others, and putting up healthy boundaries. There is also, potentially, the victim-martyr-savior complex, whereby you play victim to try to become everyone's martyr or savior. Romance can become idealized to the point of being a hopeless romantic, and you can lack inner fire needed for self-assertion and embodying more masculine energy and traits. Self-help and self-care tips. Work on finding a balance between the practical and material and the spiritual and emotional. You thrive in the latter, but the former are difficult for you. Compassion and empathy for yourself can help you to find a set direction in life instead of flowing with wherever the tide takes you, and put measures in play for financial and practical security.
We're going to stop it here for today. I need to start cooking, go run me a couple of errands. Then I'll be back later to finish up the other half of this audio book, which we still have like a minute and 45 seconds left on Pisces moon. Then we'll go into the rising signs. And after we finish up the rising signs, we're gonna start on the audio book for the North Node. Okay, my babies? I hope y'all enjoyed this content. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, my little ones, okay? Leave me a comment down in the box below. Okay, my boo-boos? As above, so below. As within, so without.